Hey everybody, Mike and Max back once again, and we are talking WWE Backlash coming up tonight from Chicago with the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. We're going to run through the card and give our predictions, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We'll start with the pre-show match, Ty Dillinger against Aiden English.
I think it's got to be Ty Dillinger here. I mean, there's no use in having Aiden English win this match. Ty Dillinger's new, he's fresh face of SmackDown, he's got a huge crowd behind him, so I think it'll be a good way to get the night started, a big perfect 10 win, and Ty Dillinger picks it up.
Yeah, this one seems pretty obvious. Good one to get the show. I guess the pre-show going. Should be a hot crowd in Chicago, like it always is. If NXT Takeover last night was any indication, very, very hot crowd for that. Yeah, no reason why Dillinger shouldn't win this one. That's pretty straightforward. We'll jump into the main card. Baron Corbin against Sami Zayn, and this just feels familiar. Like I feel like we've seen this a bunch of times before.
We haven't talked about this yet, so I'm going to go with the probably a pick a lot of people aren't going to make. I'm going to pick Sami Zayn to win.
Okay.
He's a guy who takes a lot of falls and takes a lot of losses and goes well. And I know they're very high on Baron Corbin, but I think Sami Zayn will get the win, and then this may continue a little bit into Money in the Bank. I do feel like Baron Corbin has a chance to win Money in the Bank, so this could also be a filler match. But I will go with Sami Zayn here.
Okay. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I feel like he needs this win. I feel like they want to build him up, but I don't know. There's been almost this kind of stop-start booking. When I was making my full list of picks, it was almost like with the number of babyface wins, I had to pick a couple of heel wins, and this was one of them to kind of balance it out a little bit. I kind of like the Money in the Bank theory. I think that'd be really interesting. Historically, it's been a good chance to build new stars. I think, Baron Corbin winning Money in the Bank could be very, very interesting down the road. But okay, I'm going to go with Corbin there. Let's move on. This one should be fun if the build-up has been any indication. The tag title match, the Usos against Breezango.
I think this is where Breezango gets the title. They put a lot of work into it. They put a lot of effort into building them up and having fun with them and building them into likable characters. And I think they'll give them a chance to hold the titles and see what happens, and then from there we'll see what happens going into SmackDown on Tuesday and into the next pay-per-view with Money in the Bank. But I'm going to go Breezango or Breezango, however you say it.
I'm going to agree with you there. I think they do win the titles. I love that this is probably the most relevant title Breeze has been since he was in NXT. He was kind of right on the cusp of that. I mean, he was in a couple of main events in NXT. The Fashion Files has been awesome.
Yep.
That's been one of the best things going. And the funny thing is, and coincidentally enough, this is Backlash. This, to me, very much has the feel of Backlash last fall when Heath Slater and Rhino were in a very similar situation.
Oh, yeah.
They were kind of this lovable team of fan favorites that hadn't really done much, but there was sort of this groundswell. And then Backlash 2016 was when they finally broke through and won and became the first SmackDown Tag Champions. And this just very much has a similar feel to it. And I think that's part of the reason why I think they're going to do it tonight.
It's very true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Here's another one that we've seen a few times over the past. I think this was a late addition to the card. Hasn't been a whole lot of build-up for it. Luke Harper against Eric Rowan.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of build-up. It's interesting with both members of the Wyatt family, and now you have Luke Harper's a face now, and Eric Rowan is still Eric Rowan. I think Harper gets the win here. I feel like they've been high on him. He had the chance at the world title match going into Mania, and he lost it, obviously. But I think this is just a kind of a filler, give him something to do, and there's also a backstory, so you don't need much of a build. But I'm going to go with Luke Harper.
True. Yeah, built-in backstory there. These two guys go way back, and back and forth a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to go with Luke Harper as well. It just seems like more potential with him moving forward. Eric Rowan there just doesn't really seem to be much there. And maybe we're way out. Maybe he wins and this begins a push for him. But I don't see it. No women's title match, but we do have a 3-on-3 women's tag match. Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch against the Welcoming Committee, Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina with James Ellsworth.
I think I'm going to go with the Welcoming Committee, right, of Natalya, Tamina, and Carmella. I think they're going to win because Charlotte is going to just walk away. It seems like they've been doing a little bit of a face turn with Charlotte. I think they realize that's a terrible move. And so I feel like Charlotte is going to hop down off the apron when someone's going to tag her. I think she'll wrestle a little bit, but she'll hop off the apron at some point when someone goes for the tag. I don't need you guys, and then we're back to Charlotte. So the Welcoming Committee gets the win in like a 3-on-2 sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. Charlotte's very much been sort of the reluctant partner here, and Becky's trying to play peacemaker, and Becky's been betrayed and turned on 500 times now, and I think they seem to have a little bit of momentum going with this welcoming committee thing. They got this whole Mean Girls thing. I do think they'll win. I just have one wish. I just hope at some point, either during or after the match, James Ellsworth just gets Bexplex to the moon. I would love nothing more than to see that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think everybody would love to see
yes. Moving on, the match that's been the center point of the advertising for this entire event, Shinsuke Nakamura in his main roster pay-per-view debut against Dolph Ziggler.
I think this is going to be your match of the night. I think you have
could very well be
two great performers, and Dolph is he's back and heel, but I think they haven't let Shinsuke wrestle for a reason. They want to build him up as the superstar, as the great wrestler who doesn't need to wrestle. And they're giving him time on the mic, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I think Shinsuke gets the win here because of the build and because he's Shinsuke. And Dolph Ziggler is good at taking the fall for a new superstar. And I think this will be the match of the night, though.
I think that's a great possibility that it could be. Definitely Shinsuke gets the win here. There's zero logical reason why he shouldn't. Again, the crowd should be hot for this. You're going to have 12,000 people in Chicago singing along with this theme song. Who knows? Maybe they pull out a special entrance like they did with NXT. I feel bad for whoever has to follow this match. Maybe that's where they throw in Harper or Rowan and something that's kind of a come down match for the crowd. But yeah, no reason why Nakamura shouldn't win this match.
I think this could be Nakamura's best match since his debut against Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I think.
Which that was incredible. NXT Takeover Dallas.
Yep.
That was incredible.
So I think it could rival that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dolph's a good pairing for him. The WWE title match: Randy Orton against the guy who was a glorified jobber about 2 months ago. Suddenly #1 contender Jinder Mahal. We're not hindering Jinder anymore.
My bold prediction is that Jinder is going to win this match.
Whoa! Whoa!
I don't know why I think that. I just have a feeling. I don't know why Jinder is in the title match at all. And I think that's why he's going to win. Why he has a chance to win. I think something's going to go wrong for him to win. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a fluke, and somehow Randy may get the title back on Tuesday.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just have a bad feeling that Jinder Mahal is going to win this title.
Would certainly make for a fairly shocking moment, I think. They've really been pushing the whole aspect of the Singh brothers, the former Bollywood boys from the Cruiserweight Classic, the Singh brothers being involved. They've interfered a lot on his behalf. I think it's pretty clear they'll be involved in some fashion or another. Could be something where we see a ref bump and they interfere. I do think ultimately Orton retains. It might be maybe through DQ or something like that. It could be something where Jinder, maybe wins the match but doesn't win the title, or there's something weird, and maybe the feud continues. But there's a decent chance they show up in Ypsilanti tomorrow night at a live event with Jinder as the WWE champion. It's possible, but I do think Orton retains.
Okay.
And then finally, the other, along with Nakamura and Ziggler, the other match I'm really, really looking forward to, and the way that they've been putting out the promotional materials could be the match that goes on last. We'll see. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles for the U.S. title.
This is a match I've been looking forward to for a while. Two great wrestlers, and it's going to be good. I think Kevin Owens retains. They've just put so much effort into the Face of America thing. There's no reason for him to not have the title, and I think it sets AJ Styles up to compete in Money in the Bank and get another shot at the world title, because he deserves to be in the world title picture, as do a few people on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I mean, you have AJ Styles, you have Kevin Owens, and probably Shinsuke Nakamura at some point in the world title picture, but I think Kevin Owens retains here.
I agree with that. I mean, AJ Styles, full-fledged main eventer. You would have to try really, really hard to screw this match up. You almost can't go wrong with these two in a match, and I think almost any outcome you'd be happy with. But I do think it makes the most sense for Kevin Owens to retain. I think he will. But I agree. I think Styles will go on and will be involved, whether it's in the Money in the Bank match or in a title match, will be involved in a very big way moving forward. So there you go. That's our picks. For the most part, the same. We've got a couple of differences, but I'm looking forward to the show. I think this will be a really, really fun show tonight.
It should be good. You got a lot of good matches on there. You know, it should be a good SmackDown show.
Yes.
What was the last SmackDown?
Well, let's see. That would have been, was it Elimination Chamber?
So it should be good.
Yeah.
And it's the first chance after Payback to have SmackDown on its own terms with its new people, and I think it'll be a good show.
All right, there you go. Those are our picks, and we will see you next time.